Okay, so we've now started talking about social engineering. So this is week 4. Then we are doing social engineering. So we've already demonstrated on credential harvesting for social engineering. So today we are going to talk about hacking a Windows machine, setting up a payload. So first of all, we need to understand the term hacking. So hacking is just gaining unauthorized access to a resource of a system. Let me say I gain an unauthorized access to your computer, it means I've hacked your computer. So in this case, we're going to demonstrate to how you can gain unauthorized access to a Windows machine in your Kali Linux machine. So before we do that, I would like to demonstrate on this netcat reverse shell, which you did with Evans Warrior. So what a reverse shell simply means is that you have two operating systems, okay? A Windows machine as this one and a Kali machine as this one, okay? So you want to reverse the shell maybe for a Windows computer to access it on your Windows on your Kali machine, or you want to access this Kali machine to your Windows machine, the terminal, okay? So let me demonstrate that using this Pilot OS WSL, since we discussed on how to install this in the installation video for WSL. So I'll open up this assuming this is my Kali Linux machine. So this is the Kali terminal. Then I'll also open up a Windows terminal, which is CMD. So let me just put the things in order. So here I like to set the color to green and black. So I'll say color 0A. So to change it, then CLS to clear the screen in command prompt. Okay. So remember, we are using netcat to reverse these shells. Okay. So on Windows, you need to make sure that you have ZenMap installed. So ZenMap, it comes with NCAT. So the first thing, if you want to reverse this Windows machine to a Kali machine, you need to know the IP address for this machine. Okay. So you say ipconfig to check the IP address for your Windows machine. Then I'm using a router, so I'm connected through wireless. So I need to go where it says wireless. So wireless here IP version 4. This is my IP address. Okay. So I need to take note of this IP address here. So if you're using your Kali machine or this WSL terminal for parrot, NCAT is already installed. So you need to just type NC, short for NCAT, then dash NV. So where do you want to connect? So I want to connect to this machine. So this machine is having this IP address. So just say 192.168.10.2. So depending on your IP address, okay? So now here on the Windows machine, you need to say NCAT, okay? NCAT because you're using ZenMap. So you say NCAT, then dash NLVP, dash NLVP. Now you need to set a port which you need to listen to. For example, 1234. So that's the port. So you need to make sure that even here you're using the same port, which is we are connecting to this port. So you need to use the same port, okay? So since we want to execute this CMD on this Kali machine or terminal, you need to say dash E for execute, then cmd.exe. So this is the executable file for this CMD we want to execute. So once you click enter, netcat to start listening on this port. So now here you just need to click enter to gain access. So once you click enter, you can see that a connection from that machine has been established, and we are now accessing this Windows machine which is in the C drive with this user Soko James on this Kali machine. So you can list the directories by saying dir and check the things you have, okay? You can move from directories and perform a lot of steps because you have full control over this machine now. For example, you can go to the desktop by saying change directory, then desktop. So we are changing directory to desktop. So once we do that, we'll change from Soko Gems to desktop. So if you come to the desktop here, we have these files, applications. So I can say dir to list. So once I list, I'll see I have Cisco Packet Tracer, I have Google, whatsoever. So I have all these files here. So I can even start one of these programs because I have full control over this Windows machine. So let me say I wanted to start let me say what can I start. So if I want to start maybe let me start code blocks. So code blocks is written like this. Okay, so I can just say start, can say start code blocks. Okay, dot lnk, like that. So I can say start code blocks, I can say start this. So once I click enter, you can see code blocks is officially starting, but I'm on my Linux machine, but I'm making use of this command line to gain full control over this machine. So this is just a simple demonstration of what we are trying to do. Now let me just cancel this. We don't need this connection. So I'll say exit, say exit. Okay, so we have exited this. So even here I can say exit, get rid of the terminal, and the exit. So this is the code block which was opened. So let me just get rid of that. So now coming back to our PowerPoint presentations, we are hacking a Windows machine by setting up a payload. Okay, so imagine if a person gain access to the Windows machine using that method from demonstrating through the use of social engineering. It means they had to send something to the user so that maybe they click on it, they download that payload, then it execute their CMD on the hacker's Kali machine. Okay, so that's the whole point for this handout. So hacking a Windows machine, setting up a payload. So we are talking about social engineering. So number one is saying start your Kali machine. So I've already started my Kali machine. This is my Kali machine. So I've already started it. Open up a terminal, your terminal. So right click on the desktop, then say open new terminal here. Then let me just zoom in for you to see. So they are saying run it as root. So to run as root to administrator, just say sudo su. Then you enter your password for your machine. So once you enter your password, you become the admin or the root. So type social engineering toolkit, SE toolkit. So once you type SE toolkit, you launch this social engineering toolkit as shown. Okay, let's go to slide 3. So setting up the Windows payload. So select option 1 for social engineering attacks because you're talking about social engineering. Then select option 4 to create a payload and listener. So option 4 enables us to create a payload and listener. Select option 5 for Windows Interpreter Reverse TCP. So I demonstrated that a reverse here was done using NC or Netcat in the previous demo, but here we are selecting option 5 so that we can reverse the Windows for that particular victim as shown in the first example I gave. So that's option 5. Okay, then set up the IP address for a payload or listener. Note, check your IP address with the command if config or new terminal. So right click on desktop, open a new terminal. Let me just zoom in again for you to see. So now we can say if config to check the IP address. So our IP address is this 192.168.10.3. So Control Shift C to copy that, then I'll quit. So here I will paste that with Control Shift V, the IP address. So once that is done, enter the port for the reverse listener. So remember, in the previous example, used this port, which is 1234, to connect to that particular port with the victim and the hacker's machine. Okay, so once you do that, you need to click enter. So a payload will be generated for you. So that's the good part of this tool. You don't need to write your own payload and create it, which is executable, and then you start sending it to the user. But this tool is allowing us to automatically generate that payload for us. So as you can see, they're saying now this payload is located in this directory. So this is the name of the payload, so we don't need this. We just need to copy root slash dot set. Okay, so once we copy this, let's go to the uploading the Windows payload to a server. So note, do these steps on a new terminal. Okay, so let's open up a new terminal. So open up a new terminal. Let me zoom in. So they're saying go to the directory which contains the payload. So here let me run it as an administrator first, sudo su. So you enter your password. So once you enter your password, you need to change directory to that particular directory which has the payload. Okay, so to confirm if we have the payload, we can list by saying ls. So once we list, we see that we have this payload.exe executable file. Okay, so list items with command ls to see the payload. So we've done that. Then type the command python3.m, then this to make the payload available. So I want to upload all these files including the payload to our server so that the victim can have access to these files. Okay, so now here what we can do is to set up the server. So how to set up the server, I need to make sure that your carry is up to date and is upgraded. So the commands you say is sudo then apt update to update your carry machine. Once that is done, you need to upgrade your machine. Okay, so once your machine is updated and upgraded, you can now follow up these steps which are coming up. So mine is already updated and upgraded. So now you need to run the command which is python3 -m, then http server, which is listening at port 80. So for us to upload these files. So once that is done, you click enter. So as you can see, it's saying saving on this port. Okay, so you're saving on this port. So what you can do now here, after we've done that, we need to go back to the terminal which we used. Then now type yes to start listening. So let me just minimize this. Okay, then I need to type yes for us to start listening. So once you type yes, you just give it some time for the Metasploit framework console to do its work. So let's just give it some time. It doesn't even take much of the time. So let's see slide 5. So you'll be sending the payload to the victim. So we can start doing that. So you need to open up your browser. So as you can see here, we are done. So we just need so this is the IP address and this is the port which is listening. So we need to send this a certain link to the victim so that once they click on it, they will be, so let me just go to my Gmail. So once they click on it, they will be redirected to our server to download the payload, which will now reverse their CMD. So let me just delete this email which I had created. Okay, so we go and compose, and then you send it to a victim. For example, this is the victim I'm sending it to. So for example, you can give a subject, say your computer has been compromised. Your computer has been compromised. Okay, so here you need to insert a link. So the link we are inserting is the IP address for our machine. So you can change the text to display. Maybe you say click here to download the antivirus software. So this will look legitimate to the user. So if they think their PC has been compromised, they'll click here to download the antivirus software, but we know it's just fake. Okay, so you click on send. So once this email is sent to the user, you need to wait patiently for the user to click on that link. So I'll pretend to be the victim. So I'll use Microsoft Edge to open up that file. So let me just go to Gmail. So I'm going to my Gmail account for that particular account. So this user has received this email that your computer has been compromised. So they would like to click on this link, and then they will say click here to download the antivirus software. So once a user clicks on this link, in just a minute, let me see if we are still if the server is still up. Okay, so once the user clicks on this link, they will be directed to this directory listing. So this directory has all those files which the attacker has listed in their directory. So we have this payload. So I need to make sure that the victim downloads this payload.exe. Okay. So if we go back to our card, you can see that we have some traffic which is now coming in. Okay. So now the user needs to download this payload. So since this payload has been downloaded but it's saying it's not trusted, let me just do something. Go to, so here we see this is blocked, but to say keep, so say keep, so we say keep anyway. So once we say keep anyway, it will be downloaded. Okay, so let me just disable even the Windows Defender for us to perform this work. So here let me just disable that so that we can perform the work. So if I come back here, if I come back, downloads, let's retry. So we trust this now, say keep, and then we keep anyway. So this file has been downloaded. So if we go to the desktop, we'll see that we go to the downloads, we'll see that we have payload.exe. Okay, so we have fished that user. So in just a minute, I run back in those particular weeks. So the user needs to learn this executable file. So we need to learn this, learn anyway. So make sure that the user learns that. Okay, so you need to establish a certain connection here. So let me confirm if you have a connection. So once you run that file, you need to expect to have a connection here. So one error failed to bind. So in just a minute. Okay, so we can see we have one session which has been opened. So it means that users now officially run or executed that file. Okay, so two sessions opened. Okay, so what you can do now, since you have managed to send that payload to the user, just need to gain access to the Windows machine. So here we'll just say sessions dash I then 1. Okay, so you will type sessions dash I then 1. So I want to connect to session 1. So once we interact with session 1, we need now type shell so that the shell, the Windows shell, can pop up. So in the previous example we said dash e then cmd.exe to exclude that shell with netcat. Now you just need to say shell to make sure that that shell prompts up. So you can see now we have access to this Windows machine which belongs to Soko James. Then we under the download. So if we list under the downloads of the Telegram folder, so this Telegram folder, we can see we can even access it here. So we can access this Telegram folder. We can change the directory to that Telegram folder. We can change the directory to that Telegram folder. So we can do a lot of stuff. We can go to the main C drive. The main C drive, we list what's there. So we can modify these files and do a lot of stuff. We even maybe encrypting the Windows or a particular important file for this user to demand for a ransomware. So that's it for this demonstration on how to gain access to Windows machine using the social engineering toolkit. So up next we'll be talking about Zphisher demonstration on credential harvesting on how to hack an Instagram account. That will be the example. So thanks for watching. My name is Soko James representing KMU tutorials. These are the 2024 to 2025 online classes.